2 years later, the building has some sign that says condos from 195,000.
Yeah.
And I
Yikes.
said, oh my God, did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
I said, wait, hold on, open the elevator door. What's going, excuse me, what? What's going, 3 months and you're not selling? Let me take a look at it. We put the condo on a Thursday. By Sunday, we have 4 offers. I said, I think this is just as simple as that.
Yeah,
Real estate
probably
is
do that.
black and white. But then you are facing this big mountain of paperwork, of compliance. She said, do you know that my abode exists? I said, no, what's that?
Well, Alvaro Mallarino,
Yes, perfect.
I appreciate you being here today and the applause for my pronunciation of your last name. So thanks so much for being here on the myBlueprint podcast. Again, I'm Alex. I'm Director of Sales here at myBode. Really excited to have you here today and to chat about your perspective is unique in this industry. You started to actually you started your own brokerage with us here at myBode.
Yes.
As opposed to having a brokerage and then switching your back office over, you've made the decision to actually just essentially partner with us to help you start.
Yes.
Which is a really fun kind of different path, but not uncommon. A lot of people think about that, and there's a lot of high producers out there that really think about the same thing. A lot of people that want to build their brand and build their legacy and whatnot. So really excited for you to be here to share your perspective, but I won't do all the talking. Please tell us who you are and what you're about.
Well, I'm a real estate broker. I've been in business as an agent for almost 15 years. However, I've been involved with the real estate industry for 21 years. I am an engineer. My undergrad was engineering, electronic engineering. Then I came here in 2002 to Canada to do an MBA at the University of Toronto, Rodman.
Awesome.
And then I switched into finance. I was always into finance, but I switched more technically into finance. I was working in the M&A groups at Ernst & Young and Deloitte. But I started working on real estate in 2005, a year after I graduated from business school.
Yeah.
With the idea of buying homes, convert them into triplexes, fourplexes, renovating them, and then renting them out.
Nice.
Not flipping.
Right.
The idea was to convert, increase the value, and then maintain for retirement for many years.
Yeah.
How did I start in this? That's a funny story. I came to study in 2002. I was looking for a basement apartment to rent, to live.
Yeah.
And I was about to sign a basement apartment somewhere in Davisville, which was at the time perceived as far away from U of T.
Right.
And then I was in the evening looking at the Toronto Star. That was the place to find rentals, right? The classified ads.
Yeah.
But I was looking online and I saw this place in Mount Pleasant and Bloor, $800, furnished place, not a basement. I said, well, not a basement for $800. That must be good. I go there. I meet this guy. This guy is a nice guy. He was from China. He barely spoke English, but he was very nice, and there was some good rapport. And then he showed me his project. He did buy 2 houses, semi-detached but together, and he converted those houses into 16. For every house, he got 8 apartments. In total, 16 apartments. All of them 1 bedrooms or bachelor suites.
Right.
Each with their own kitchen, mini kitchen, like 1/3 of this room.
Yeah.
And each with its own bathroom. And he bought used furniture from a hotel, and he put furniture in every single unit. And he was renting everything furnished. And when I came, there was only 1 rented, and the other 15 were available. And he said, Alvaro,
It's yours.
you choose whichever unit you want. So I chose mine, and I was very happy there for 2-3 years. But I always tried to learn from this guy, how did he do this, because I thought that was a great business. When I left the appointment, there is a building at the corner of Mount Pleasant and Bloor, which is called the Bellagio.
Okay.
And they were building that condo. And they said, condos from $95,000. And I said, wow, I have the money, borrowed money to pay for the MBA. I said, wow, what if I use that money instead of paying for for university. I just buy a condo. I just finance 20,000, and I get a job as an engineer, and that's it. I'm done. I have a house. I'm in Canada.
You're set.
Fine. I'm set. But I said, well, no. Well, of course, I have to do the MBA. 2 years later, when I was walking back to my house, to my bachelor, with my mom, with my diploma, coming from the graduation ceremony, the building is finished.
Yeah.
And the building has some sign that says condos from 195,000.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
And I said, probably not. I was very happy with the MBA. That was the best experience. But I said, wow.
The FOMO set in.
I could have, now I have more expenses, I have more debt, and I could have made money. Anyways, so I know as soon as I had some cash, and as soon as I have some lines of credit, because I didn't have much cash, I was able to get into real estate. I bought a condo that was relatively new, that was new actually. And then I bought the house in the annex that needed some renovation. We made it into a fourplex. And then I started with that, and then I bought other condos, and then I bought other houses. Everything using maximum leverage.
Yeah.
I didn't have more cash. I just have the ability to understand finance and I always thought if the loans I'm getting to buy these properties are 4, 5, 6% at the time, 5%.
Yeah.
And the prices are growing up 10% per year. For every dollar I borrow,
You get two.
I'm gonna make some money. So if I borrow 1 million, I'm gonna make enough money to live. I borrow 2 million, I'm gonna live super well, and that's it at the time.
Yeah.
That's how I got into it, and then 5 years later, I get my license, my real estate license. Little I knew, and I got the license just for me to save in transactions, because I was doing 2 transactions in a year, selling, buying, and I was doing a few rentals, 2, 3 rentals every year for the property that I have bought. And the business was to borrow money from every single credit card I could, Home Depot, IKEA, every single credit card. And then at the end of the renovate. And at the end of the reno, I would bring the bank and say, look, now the house is worth much more. I need money to refinance. And then they will refinance with the money I will get. I will pay for the credit cards, and then the rents that were higher, we're gonna pay for the actual mortgage.
Nice.
But in 2010, I got the license to save on commissions and to make it a better business. But at the same time, I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to do, and at the time, 2010, QR codes were in fashion. So I started a business about QR codes. Imagine 2010 QR codes. Nobody knew about it, but they came out and everyone was talking. Everyone know. Some people were talking about it. Yeah. Consumers didn't understand what was a QR code.
Yeah.
So we started a QR code business, which is basically an digital advertising, trying to make apps and things with QR codes. But the business was already taken over by the agencies, by the advertising agencies. Right. So we sold some things, but we ended up not growing that business. But when I was out, I tried to do another renovation. And when I went to the bank and I said, look, now I have my own business. I don't work at Deloitte anymore. They said, sorry, no more financing.
It's tougher to get
financing. The party is over for you
with
respect to financing. So
T4s are easier.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's when I said, well, I'm going to keep my QR code business because I see much potential in this. This is going to be a huge thing. 2010. It wasn't until 10 years later. And I would have not been able to stand up in life and business and everything. So I was just thinking of what was the next step. And I get this. I used to live on St. Clair and Young. And on the elevator, I met I knew this fellow who was a neighbor in the building. And then he said to me, oh, hey, Alvaro, hey, Craig, do you know of anyone looking for condos in the building? I said, no, but there are many people. Like, what's going on? No, I'm trying to sell my condo for a while and it doesn't sell. Really? What's your price? No, it's $320,000. That's very reasonable. It's a 1-bedroom. Yeah. Oh, you're going to sell it. And then he left and the elevator doors were closing. And when they were closing, I left and he said, No, it's been in the market for 3 months. And I said, wait, hold on, open the elevator door. What's going, excuse me, what? What's going, 3 months and you're not selling? Let me take a look at it. Yes, please. He knew that I was kind of involved in real estate, but he was just telling me as a neighbor.
Yeah.
I went upstairs, I saw his condo, and I said, well, man, you're not going to sell the condo? Like, this is a bachelor pad. It's dirty, it's not nicely decorated, it doesn't look appealing at all. So some people come to it and they think this may be disgusting, this may look disgusting. So you need to do something. Oh, can you help me? Yes, of course, I'll help you. Just do this, do that. So I came in one afternoon, I helped him arrange a couple of things. I told him to do this, to do that. And then he said, do you mind if my father called you? This place actually belongs to my father. I said, oh my God, well, of course, yeah, sure. His father called me and said, oh, I heard you helping Craig with the sale of the condo. Can you help us? Yes, sure, of course. Are you an agent? And I said, well, I'm not. Well, actually, I didn't want to lie. Well, I have a license, but I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm happy to help you. No problem. Oh, could you please be my agent and sell the condo? I said, no. I'm not in the business of being a real estate agent. I don't want to take that responsibility. No. I'll do it for free. Don't worry. I just want you to sell the place. Please do it. I'll pay you. No. You don't have to pay me. No, I'll pay you. How much you want? No, I don't want anything. Anyways, we put the condo. I ended up taking the listing, my first listing as an agent. We put the condo on a Thursday. Of course, we did a staging and we did a couple other things. And by Sunday, we have 4 offers. We sold the condo with multiple offers for a little bit higher than the price that we had, which was the same price that he had for 3 months.
Right.
And then I went across the street to Hero Burger. That was kind of in the middle of their success path. Had a Hero Burger, sat down on the street on St. Clair, and I said, I think this is just as simple as that. Real estate, probably do black and white. This is easy, and I've been doing it with the rental because I have at the time 6 or 7 rental units. I mean, a 4-plex and a couple condos. And I said, look, if I'm able to do it for rentals and I'm able to do it for sale, I'm wasting my time. I should probably get into the business. Mm-hmm. If I put energy and focus into this business, I think I have to do well.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Unreal. So you came to Canada in 2002.
Yes.
You were in school for engineering and then got into finance with the, Deloitte.
Yeah.
In EY. So you're on the corporate side.
Yeah.
And then started buying your own, building your own, or not building your own necessarily, but like doing essentially BRRRRs, right? Buy, renovate, refinance, repeat, whatever the BRRRRs are.
Yes.
Do you still have those as well?
I have a couple other properties, the 4-plex and 3-plex. One of them is being sold right now.
Oh, nice.
The other one was sold a couple of years ago. The ones that I kept.
Yeah.
And that's where I am at now. With this market, a couple of years ago, I decided to sell one of the biggest 4-plex, and then we decided to sell the other one last year.
Selling a 4-plex a few years ago would have been a good, probably a pretty good outcome at that.
When I anticipated that it was going to last a couple of years, that's when I decided to sell, and we sold it. And
I've got a property up for sale right now of my own as well.
Yeah, good.
I'll let you know.
Do you know a realtor? Do you know a good realtor?
Yeah. But I actually love the story as well because it's essentially starting with value, right? Like it came to you, you showed them value, and they said, no, please let me pay you money for this. Which is, I think a good reminder of when folks get into this business a lot of the time. Sometimes they think, just because you have a license, everybody's going to throw listings at you and stuff. It's like, actually, you have to show value to those people first.
And the problem is that in our industry is that we agents were poorly accustomed before 2022, the 10 years, 15 years before, you would put a property for sale and the property would easily sell.
Yeah.
And from the very beginning, I started to, my first page on the master listing presentation when I met the seller client was, I'm not here just to sell your place because the place will sell by itself. Mm-hmm. The place will sell. I'm here to get you the most money you can get for it. Right. That's where the value comes in because the place will sell. The issue is how can you get, given that the market is hot, how can you get more on top of that?
Yes.
That was and it's up to date. Like now it's to sell because now nobody's selling. But yeah, that's a key point. That's a key point.
But it's a good point too, because there's some folks when listing, they just put it up and zero is invested in it.
Yeah.
And it's either not going to sell or they're going to get smoked on the listing or this eventual sale price.
Yes.
You have to have the right advice and the right people accountable to your success. And
absolutely, and that the most important on that is experience.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are very good at it, like in sports, they're just intuitively good at it. And sometimes we just see, oh, you have this, oh, you have to fix that, you have to replace that, and that's it. You will sell, no problem. So we learn those things, and especially after the renos, and you learn many of those things, and then you get to know the mechanics and the systems in a house in Toronto.
Yeah.
Because there are many agents who dress nicely, go to the open house, and your clients go to the open house and they ask you, oh, do you know how's the plumbing here? Oh, the plumbing works perfect. Oh, but do you know if the supply is lead or cast iron, or is it copper already?
Or Kitec.
Is it 3/4 of an inch? Do you know if the plumbing inside has any Kitec or not? Like people and even agents, many agents don't know about it. Right. They don't know that the houses in Toronto that were built before the war, the drains are out of clay. Yeah. And if you buy a house 80 to 100 years later, most likely, if they have not been replaced, you have to dig out, damage whatever you have in the basement, take that clay out, put a pipe in PVC, and buyers don't know that. Yeah. And when you have done it and you have experience where you tell your clients, oh, be careful, this house hasn't
been touched.
Plumbing hasn't been touched. You do not need to spend $80,000, $100,000 before any cosmetic change. Right. Because it's 20 per system, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and insulation, roofing, waterproofing. Then people get some value from it as well.
Even things like tree roots I've seen, start to grow through the side of the basements. And you got to know that going in.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why those drains end up having to be replaced in an urgent manner, because people are in the bathroom and they think, oh, the toilet is clogged, and the toilet is not clogged. When they call the plumber, everything is because a root got into the drains and
100%.
Too technical, sorry.
We could go all day with getting into the weeds. Now, as far as your trajectory, your career, you were an agent for, 15 years. Now, your brokerage now. What made you decide to go? A lot of agents face this consideration, or at least are think about, okay, at what point does it make sense for me to open a brokerage? Like, can I do it? Can I make money at it? And why do it? And there's a lot of agents out there that are, maybe they're kind of mid-performers and they think about this. Maybe there's agents out there that think about opening a brokerage will simply allow, them to supplement their existing realtor income with other people's income and split revenue from the brokerage. Other folks, maybe a super high producer, and think well, if every brokerage to me is just a mathematical equation, at which points does it make sense for me to, be at least the beneficiary to that mathematical equation?
Yes.
So what was the consideration for you, and why did you decide to open your own brokerage?
Yeah. I think there are three major considerations why people are inclined to open a brokerage. One of them was the biggest reason for me, but the three of them are kind of together. Mm-hmm. I think number one is value capture. Okay. You own a business, you know how to grow it, you know how to make more money, how to make it a better business, but you're one person or one team, you're limited to the size of your team, of yourself.
Yeah, your time and you only have so many hours in the day.
Right. So you can do that and grow the business to have 5, 10 transactions in a month, but you know how to get more. You could get as many as you want more because you have the systems, you have you already uncover the systems for you to get more transactions and more clients. Then you need to have a way to hire agents so that they can benefit from it. They can make some money and you take a portion of it.
Right.
So it's value capture, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah.
There are three, and I think the three are together. But when you anticipate growth, you need to have a source of agents who can help you capitalize on that growth. That's number one reason. One of the three reasons. The other two reasons, two very important ones. Number two is succession planning. If you have a brokerage, especially if you own a business, you know you're going to grow the business, you have to think ahead and see, okay, let's say that I grow the business and I figure out a way to get 50 agents transactions so that make six-digit commissions every year. That's a business already. So you have to think ahead and know that maybe that business could be sold in the future. When you own a brokerage, it's easier to do that. You can sell a team. Some people sell a team to other larger brokerages, but it's not the same. You don't have the independence that you would have when you have your own brokerage, with your own numbers, with your own financial, with your own record, transactions of clients. So succession planning, number two. And the third reason, one of the biggest reasons for many people, it wasn't for me. I was very happy before, but is freedom and control. Freedom inward. Like, I can put this ad. I don't have to mention that I work with a broker that has nothing to do with my brand. I want to promote my brand, especially if I'm going to grow. I want all the agents to promote my brand, the brand that I have established, that I have created some standards for. Freedom and control outward, like for the agents. If the agents are going to join your team, they have to follow the standards and the procedures of the brokerage that you belong to. But you have your own brokerage, you create your own standards, and you mandate that all agents work under those high standards. Right? You want to make sure the quality of service is up there, the quality of transactions, the clients perceive the service as a whole brand new, different thing and unique. Then you have more control.
I love what you said about succession planning. Because like, you can only sell so much real estate in for so long. At the end of the day, like, you can have a team that you build, but it's still you. It's still your name on it. At least with scaling and adding more folks to the fold and building systems around that, you can actually grow that business really as much as you want. And you can get, if you want to get out of the transactions, you can do so at a certain time. If you wanted to. A lot of people, I think, up until a certain point, both enjoy being in the transaction. Because it keeps us sharp and it's extra money, really. It's just why, a big part of the reason why we're all here. So, like, it's growing the business for yourself and being able to help folks put your personal touch on things. As well as having that extra revenue. Nice.
Succession planning, I think, is a key. The ability to not to take advantage, to benefit from what you have built. It's easier when you have your own brokerage. It's not as easy when I have a team and we do
some tax advantages as well in there. Of course. Awesome. So up until this point, not only have you come to Canada, you've got into the real estate business, you become an agent, you become a specialist, and you've decided, hey, I'm thinking about actually opening up a brokerage because of the reasons that we just talked about. So put us in your shoes for when you were deciding to actually open the brokerage. What risks were you thinking about? What operational headaches were you trying to solve for? Tell us, put us in your shoes when you were about to decide if this is the right path for you.
Well, that succession planning, freedom, control, and value capture are important, but then you are facing this big mountain of paperwork, of compliance, and many things that you, as an agent, as a sales individual, you don't want to be enrolled in. You may want to hire someone to do it, but you don't want to take your valuable time into these things that really demand a lot of time.
Right.
And if it's not because there is a solution, a team with experience to help you manage those things, then I probably wouldn't have done it. When you speak to many brokerage owners and brokers of record at different companies, the first thing they said, "Oh, you don't want to start your own brokerage. It's so complicated, so difficult, and your time is going to be spent into managing the brokerage rather than doing transactions and meeting people and helping your clients sell and buy properties."
Right.
At that point, I was fortunate enough to have this conversation, where I reached out for advice, for a professional opinion, an experienced opinion. And then I had met Catherine Johnson for a while. You know Catherine, of course. And she said, "Do you know that my abode exists?" I said, "No, what's that?" And when she told me about it, she was excited. I became excited, and I said, "This is exactly what I would. This is the only thing that was stopping me from doing it,
Right.
which is getting into that world of compliance and paperwork that we, especially real estate agents, we don't love.
Yeah.
We try to do well, but we don't love.
Yeah.
That's how I came out.
It makes sense as far as like, as agents, we're deal people.
Yeah.
Like we want to, we want to do deals. We want to shake hands and rock and roll, and we don't necessarily want to fumble around with the paperwork and that part of it. But yeah, we've partnered together. I'm really glad we did it. We met as well in person at the event that we were doing.
Yes.
Bruce Croxon and Dan Foch and Nick Hill from the Canadian Real Estate Investor Podcast. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good event. I'm glad that you can come kind of see our office and see what we're doing here. And we try to do that for, as often as we can as well. So that was a fun one. I was glad and happy to meet you there. And then you decide to make the move and open up shop. And so now you're operating, you're up. You're kind of in the thick of it as again, we try to take as much as we can off your plate, but you're up and running. And what does the future look like for Black and White? Like what are you guys looking at in the next 1, 3, 5 years plus for your brokerage?
Oh no, like so many dreams, so many things we want to achieve. We have to grow slowly but surely, because we want to have all the systems in place. We want to have all the standard, the high quality, service standard procedures that took us to this level. We want to make sure that they are very well ingrained in the brokerage for us to grow more, to capitalize on that growth that we anticipate. We have many systems for us to get more clients, more transactions, but we want to make sure the system is ready so that when an agent comes, they know that they're going to increase their productivity by at least 50-60%.
Right.
And we have an app. I don't know if I told you about it. We have an app coming up. It's a very cool app, very unique, very in a big portion, very different to what many apps that are out there exist and do. And in many other aspects, very similar, because that's what people want. Consumers want information. They like to play with real estate. They like to analyze, understand data. I've been always a big lover of data. I said to my clients, I dedicate myself just to analyze data about real estate and understand the different segments, growth, issues, things that affect a transaction. For example, what happens if a house doesn't have parking versus another house that has parking? I understand those differences in value within a property, and I've dedicated myself to understand that. So I want to leverage that now with a big group of agents. So AI is changing a little bit our path, or the path that we have envisioned, because now with AI, we want to embrace AI now to do many of the things and to implement the systems that we already have, but with the assistance of AI, so that our agents, myself, my team, and even the people, our partners can do this easier and in a more effective manner. So we have many things. The app is one big thing. AI is another big thing. And again, we didn't envision that when I envisioned the brokerage, but now I have to embrace the technology and make the best out of it.
There's a lot of technology out there even now that is even since like the holidays, honestly, since the Christmas holiday break, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's like a month and a half. It's really got to the point where like you can automate work now.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
There's a lot more work that can be automated, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
100% agree that, it's one of those things that you have to at least know what's happening, at the very minimum know what's happening, but ideally integrate it with your business. And that's agnostic of any business. That's the realtors, that's the brokerages, that's the service providers, that's like everybody. So it's really an exciting change from that point. I'm putting my tech hat on here, but like we haven't seen this level of change ever. And we've been operating in an environment economically like where change is constant. Like we've been used to this level, and now it's just kind of about to ramp up a little bit more, which is really exciting. Got it. So with Black and White, you're looking to grow the brokerage, basically systemize, add tools, and obviously find agents too. How, I guess, like if an agent is, why would an agent join Black and White?
Long story short, they're gonna make much more money. They're gonna make money. Some agents don't make money, and they're good, but they just don't know where to go. There are different levels of service that any brokerage provides. The basic one is, we'll give you all the training. Well, training has very different. You're gonna tell me how to complete an APS, or you're gonna tell me how do I do to avoid the risk that the transaction may bring. How do I do to get more clients out of this transaction? There's different levels of training, and brokerages are very good at providing training sessions. But sometimes what I noticed is that it's not really on what the agent needs. What is what we agents need? We need clients, we need transactions, we need the standard procedures that protect us from any risk and protect our clients. And that's one basic level. The next level, I think, in what I've seen and I think brokerages offer, it's systems. They have some systems. We have this for marketing. We have this. And some of them are very good and very advanced on that regard. But all of that is because we agents want transactions. We want clients. And if you have a system that you're getting a couple clients every day, every week, and they're relatively more willing or more ready than any online lead, then you have what agents want, which is transactions and clients. You know what? I have the system to get for you at least 2-3 clients a week. You have to work them out for you to have a couple transactions a month. Are you looking? Would you be interested in that? I think every agent is interested in doing that.
I think a lot of time it comes down to just it's trust in the brokerage and know that you're in the right hands. And part of that is built on just levels of training. So like you said, there's training for new agents, not the same as training for, operational efficiency, which is also not the same as like advanced training. As to your point, it's like, how can I, in every deal that I do, absolutely maximize the chance of a referral? For example, because a referral is gonna, outlast any. Like that's your most important marketing tool.
Absolutely.
It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. So how do we make sure that, the people are saying great things and singing praises? And obviously you have to do a good job for that. And part of doing that good job is being trained by the right people for the right things. And having the right tools in your belt to be able to do that.
And another part on top, I would add to that, Alex, is mindset. Right? If you don't have the mindset, I can help you develop that mindset. I can make you more aware of it. But if you don't have the mindset, you need to get the mindset to be able to capitalize on those things, to be able to learn and capitalize on those lessons. right? And the mindset is key.
Yeah.
And that's where the big thinking and the strategy come around. And that's what many brokerages think they have or they offer and they don't, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I get without mindset, the systems doesn't matter because you're not going to enable them, and the tools are useless because they sit in your tool.
Yeah. With the wrong mindset, you don't even believe the systems.
Right. Yes.
And the systems are systems, and they work for someone because they were well established. But not all systems work. That's the problem. That some people think, oh, that system is together. Does it do what you want it to do?
Yeah.
Does it do it according to the way you work? I can have a system that tells me that I can get this far with any transaction, but do I like to do that? Do I usually do that? Would I be willing? Then I have to change my mind, my mindset.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also wanted to ask you a bit of a switching lanes a little bit about the name Black and White Real Estate. Tell us about why it's called Black and White.
Yeah.
Why you arrived at that. You gave me a bit of an Easter egg before, but I wanted to poke on that.
It came to that. It comes down to that moment when this neighbor is asking me to please help him sell his condo, and I said, well, it's very simple. You just have to do this and don't do that. You just have to follow these stats. Don't do that. You have to. It's very simple. It's black and white. And then after that, when I met other people, I tried to come with a very short presentation whenever I met potential clients after I started. And the presentation was in a white sheet, no color, no marketing, no fancy marketing. I'm just going to tell them the points, the substance of what is in those fancy presentations that many agents used to have. And I said, this is just very black and white. It's very straightforward. You do this and you get more. You don't do this and you leave some money on the table, 2-3% percentage points. At the time, the average price was whatever, $600,000. That's $20,000. Do you want to do it or not? Many people wonder, another agent is offering me a 1% commission. Fine. If you want to say 1% commission so that you leave on the table 3, 4, 5%, is fine.
Yeah.
Right? We cannot fight against that. But I thought it was that simple.
Yeah.
And I tried to make it like that. And I always try to, whenever I meet clients or presentations, they go, no, but my condo doesn't have a balcony. Oh, there is a difference in value, statistically measured.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we have in our website, in a site we have called Smartistics, that tells you the average property of a condo in Toronto for a unit with a balcony is about $30,000-$35,000 different from the average property of a condo that sells in Toronto without the balcony.
Right.
So when we talk about those things with the clients, it's black and white, but with time I learned that it's not only that. There is much more to it.
Yeah.
And that's only something that I could only get with experience.
Yeah.
Would I put the same name now? Yes, because it's still many things that are very clear you shouldn't do, and many things that I'm very convinced and confident you should do. In that respect, the real estate is black and white. But I learned at the time I wasn't an agent, so I didn't. I knew what I knew from my transactions, but as an agent, there is much more to it. But then the name, I love the name.
Yeah.
And it was called In Black and White. Now, as a brokerage, we remove the in and it's black and white because it's the original idea we had.
But I think it strikes at the core of what the consumer wants, actually, which is clarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over the transaction.
Yes.
Right. Like the client is up to this process that might be for them urgent and unknown in importance.
Yes.
And the convergence of those three things are the recipe for stress.
Yes.
So if you can remove, the unknown and make it clear, then they feel a lot more comfortable. At a base, they feel a lot more comfortable with you in the process.
Yes. But as an agent, the challenge I had with that, Alex, it's great that you touched on that point, is many clients don't like to hear that. And as a sales strategy, if I go to a house and I say, hey, Alex, the fact that you have the train track is going to make your house be worth at least $100,000 less than the house on the other block.
Right.
I would start like that 15 years ago because it's black and white. You have a train track. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I cannot do that because if I do that, you're gonna go offend and you hire another realtor. No, I didn't like Alvaro because he told me I was gonna sell for less. That's a fact. But there are some truths that you have to communicate in a different manner.
Yeah.
Right?
It's be a little bit more gentle with some of the things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it ended up being not so much black and white in many aspects, but it's black and white.
They still want
many
clarity
ways.
for sure, 100%. It's funny, I mean, again, I've been an agent myself for a good 10 years, and sometimes you get clients, especially when like selling their homes and not investment properties. Investment properties you can approach a much more quantitative.
Absolutely,
way,
yes,
which
easier.
is easier.
Is that
But when you're dealing with somebody's home,
Yes.
and maybe the home doesn't smell the best because there's cat litter or something, or it's cold or like dark, right? Like those are all things that really impact the buyer's feeling, and thus have a detrimental impact on the sale price. But the way in which that's communicated needs to be delicate, of course,
or to manage.
Or to manage ongoing.
Because you communicate that and they know, yes, I know the dog smell is all over the house.
But I still want $1.5 million.
Exactly. What do you do for the sale? Do you want to do something about it, or? And then, but that's fun. I kind of enjoyed that, and I've learned to manage those situations.
It is a people business at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting point, especially with home sellers, or when people buy a home, the first time home, or a home for them to live. Because they fall in love with the house because the house is staged and decorated in such a manner. And then you tell them, look, I know this home looks great, but the bones are not there.
Right. Yeah.
I can see. When I enter a home that has been poorly renovated, it's just a matter of instinct that you already know. Oh, look at that. You know that it was a low quality reno.
Yeah.
But your clients are excited with the house. So my moral obligation is to tell them, look, yes, looks beautiful, but red flag. There are a few red flags. I want you to know them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the client says, I want to buy it anyway. Okay, so I want you to manage the risk in case everything that we perceive is not.
Yeah. Which is an opportunity for trust building as well for the client.
Oh, totally.
Like if they're ready to go ahead and you're like, hold on here. There are a couple of things. They will trust you a whole lot more.
And that's the way we build our business, my business. Like, there are so many transactions, I can't count them now. I can't remember all of them. That I told my clients, look, I'll be happy to be your agent, sometimes even pre-construction deals.
Right. Yes.
Oh, I want you to help us buy this. We already went there and you're our agent. Look, guys, I love to do the business, but I don't think it's the best option for you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think this house is the best for you. I know we've been looking for a while and you think this is it. I think it's not because of this and that.
Right.
And again, a few times they said, no, still we want it. Okay, fine. But in many cases I've been in that situation many times, and I'm very happy with it because, again, those are clients who are with me forever because they know that I'm not here for the money.
Yeah.
I always tell my agents, remember, we're not here for the money. Oh, but we need to make money. Yes, we're going to make money, but because we do things the right way, because we do what we love.
100%.
And money will come automatically from that perspective.
Clients need to be happy.
Yeah.
And if clients are happy, if you wanted to,
clients will keep coming.
They'll talk to their friends about you, and you'll get a new list.
And it's not that money is not important. It's not. I think that the actual thing is money should not be the priority.
Right.
If money is the priority, everything.
Too short-sighted. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about your origin story.
Yeah.
We've talked about your consideration to start the brokerage and then starting it. Maybe tell me a little bit about the growing pains that you solved or smoothed out since you started, and if there are any kind of over the horizon you could foresee having to navigate as we go forward.
Yeah. Well, as a real estate agent, many things that you learned with experience, which are the risks the risk that a house is not delivering the way that it's supposed to be, the risk that the seller doesn't empty the property on time, the risk that the client may blame you for something that is not really under your belt. Those things are managed with experience, are managed through standard procedures. There are systems that you can set up so that you cover those risks and minimize them, right? Many things that happen in real estate, like we recently had a transaction where the property taxes were not disclosed exactly as they were. And the buyers get the house and the lawyer tell them, oh, by the way, the property taxes are a couple $1,000s more. Come on, that's an easy, like any good real estate agent should have a standard procedure before they list the property to say, look, let me see, because many clients don't even know those things.
Right.
Let me take a look to verify that information with the sources they have available, and that's so things like that are things that have been smooth and implemented and fixed and avoided with the standard procedures. That's easy, but every week there is a new one.
Yeah.
Every week we have something. Oh, you know what? I tell my team or my admin, look, for the standard procedures of the rentals, we're gonna ask for the exact parking location.
Right.
And we're gonna make sure that the parking location that the client tell us in a condo is the same that shows up on Geo Warehouse.
Yes.
Why? Because we don't want to have issues that we rented the parking spot and turns out the parking spot is a different one. And we get we get a minor thing every week to update our standard procedures. So that's one thing. As a brokerage, the pains are just the setup. You think that you're a broker, so you can start the brokerage tomorrow. You cannot. just at least a couple months, at least 2 months of preparing, making sure everything matches, everything is in order. And then when you get running, the setup and the banking, the trust accounts, the operational software, because there are many things for the actual payments, which is what you didn't get involved when you were not the brokerage. You send to the deal department, and the deal department sends you a trade sheet, and you sign, and
then you get paid.
You get the money in your account, and the other party get the money in their account. At that time, the challenge, when you are opening or creating a new brokerage, that's a challenge, and you need to have that experience, or you need to have someone like my abode. Like, it's been difficult. The banks, you own a small brokerage, it's a small brokerage, but still you're trading millions of dollars every month. So the bank treats you as a small business, but you really need the abilities of a big company that is moving millions of dollars every month. So you need EFTs, you need all those things that the banks, as a small business, sometimes are not prepared to manage. So you have to work with the bank and with a team with experience, like my abode and your team, to get those things set up in the proper manner, in a prompt.
Sometimes you gotta, bang on the right doors.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Sometimes doors at the big banks won't be answered.
Exactly.
And sometimes they will be.
Yes.
So you got to make sure that you definitely focus on the right people.
I think like in anything in life and in business.
Yeah.
But everything is manageable.
Yeah.
Everything is manageable if you have that group to help you on the back end and the compliance process. I'm not the broker of record on purpose. Fernanda is, because she's very good at that. She loves doing that. She prefers that than facing a client. So that's great. But sometimes when we agents become brokerages, we want to become the broker of record. And being a broker of record is at least a part-time job for a small brokerage.
Yeah.
If it's a big brokerage, it's more than a full-time job.
Yeah.
And people don't know that, and that's very important to know. It's very important to know and to realize and accept that you really need to be on top.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a minor thing, a minor mistake is a big issue for the brokerage or for the agent and the clients.
100%. So in the future, it's all about anticipating what processes will solve, or what issues your processes will solve.
Yeah.
So that you can scale, so that you can focus on finding more agents, doing more business, and maintaining a super high bar for your clients.
Yeah, and I realized on that point, that's a very good point. The admin part requires some type of people to manage them.
Yeah.
The marketing and sales part require a different profile of people.
100%. 100%.
And some of us hire admins and a team based on, I want you to do this paperwork, but I want you to be very good at this too.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mistake, because the best people at doing that are very good at doing that specifically because they're very detail oriented and they're very CI personality, CS personality.
Mm-hmm.
And the best people at doing the marketing are more
IDs.
DI.
Yeah.
So that's one of the lessons I've already learned. I should have learned it before, but
that's a DISC personality reference as well.
Yes. I assume that many people know it, but many don't. Yeah, the DISC personality, the DI are more like the sales type, admin but big picture, and the CS, compliance and stability, are more the features of the people who work in that other segment.
100%.
If you have people who do that are more of this type of personality, and people who do this other part that are more where their personalities fit more into that profile, that's when things get done better and faster and without issue.
For example, a lot of the agents, for example, that might be watching are most likely IDs or DIs.
Typically.
Sales, it's usually the way that works.
Typically, yes, because they're in sales, so they have to.
Particularly if you're extroverted and energetic,
yes,
etc. A lot of the time, those folk fall on that side of the DISC map.
And on that note, I have to share in one of these events, probably more than 10 years ago, Sam McDaddy came to do a presentation, a talk, a brief talk. And I took from him one of the biggest advices for real estate agents at the time. And he said, someone asked, what would you have done differently to grow your business?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I would have hired an admin assistant earlier on in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree with that. And I think you need an admin, and I think you need two admins. Because especially when your business starts to grow much, you need one to do to support you into the sales, marketing, interaction with clients, and another one to support you into the admin, paperwork, compliance, and all that paperwork.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, awesome. Well, this was lots of fun.
Thank you. It was fun for me too.
Yeah. This was always a blast. I really enjoyed hearing specifically about your experience starting from being an agent and opening up a brokerage. I think a lot of agents have this idea in the back, especially high producing agents. Have this idea in the back of their head. It's like, well, what would that look like? Or I've been told that this isn't worth it because I don't want to do the administration.
Absolutely, yes.
So the hunch is right. You don't want to do the administration.
Exactly.
But you also don't necessarily have to hire, there are solutions that exist, like the ones that we provide.
Yes, totally.
To allow them to not do that. So the hunch is right, and the solutions, of which there are many. So
yes, absolutely. 100%.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That was great. Lots of fun.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.